Short Story 50. Honey Day Fair. The city clock chimed 5, its deep bell echoing through the bustling marketplace. Maya, a young baker with flour-dusted hands and bright eyes, hurried to pack her cart. Today was a special day, the annual Honey Day Fair, and her fragrant breads promised to be the sweetest stars of the show. Balancing a precariously high tower of warm honey loaves, Maya joined the vibrant stream of people flowing towards the fairgrounds. Music danced on the air, a mix of lively flutes and rhythmic drums. Banners fluttered overhead, painted with golden bees and dripping honeycomb. The aroma of honey, sweet and sticky, hung heavy in the air, making Maya's mouth water. She found her usual spot near the fountain, its splashing water adding a cool melody to the symphony of sounds. Unfolding her colourful tablecloth, she arranged her breads with pride. She had braided buns filled with golden honeycombs, fluffy cakes topped with glistening candied oranges, and even intricate gingerbread beehives, buzzing with promise. The first customer arrived, a kind old woman with a smile as warm as the afternoon sun. "Your bread looks delicious, my dear," she chirped, picking up a honey loaf. "Reminds me of the days I helped my grandmother bake in her small village." Maya beamed. "Thank you, madam. These are made with the finest honey gathered from happy bees in the hills." And so the day unfolded like a sweet dream. Families stopped to admire her creations. Children giggled as they chose gingerbread bees, and the air buzzed with chatter and laughter. Maya's stories about her bees, their industrious dance, and the magic of honey captivated her listeners. One by one her loaves and cakes disappeared, replaced by gleaming coins and happy smiles. Suddenly a shadow fell over her stall. A tall, gruff man with a scowl as dark as thunder approached. He wore a gold-trimmed coat with a heavy gold chain around his neck, a stark contrast to the fair's joyful atmosphere. He pointed a thick finger at Maya's remaining cake, the one adorned with a crown of candied orange slices. "That cake! I want it!" he boomed, his voice grating like nails on a chalkboard. "My money buys anything I desire." Maya stood her ground, her back straight, her voice shaking ever so slightly. "This cake is not for sale, sir. It's reserved for a special purpose." The man laughed, a harsh, humourless sound. "My purpose is special enough. Now hand it over or you'll regret it." Fear prickled Maya's skin, but she wouldn't yield. The cake was meant for her friend, old Mr. Patel, who lived alone and longed for a taste of his childhood in India. She wouldn't disappoint him. As the man reached for the cake, a commotion erupted at the other end of the fair. A swarm of bees, agitated and buzzing ominously, descended from the sky. They swirled around the man, a dark cloud against the bright sun. He flailed his arms, swatting at the insects, his face contorted in fear. The crowd gasped. Some scrambled for cover, while others watched in wide-eyed astonishment. Maya didn't move. She recognized the bees. They were from her own hives, drawn by the man's greed and anger. The swarm settled on the golden chain around the man's neck, their tiny bodies glistening in the sunlight. He choked, wheezed, and finally sank to his knees, defeated. The buzzing grew softer, then faded into a gentle hum. The bees returned to their hives, leaving the man trembling and speechless. Silence descended upon the fairgrounds. Then, slowly, it morphed into applause and cheers. People praised Maya for her courage and the bees for their timely intervention. The gruff man, humbled and apologetic, slunk away. Mr. Patel arrived, his face etched with concern. Maya explained everything, tears welling up in her eyes, but the old man only smiled, holding her hand. The bees knew. They knew your heart is as sweet as honey, Maya, and true hearts, my dear, are always protected. As the sun dipped towards the horizon, casting long shadows on the fairgrounds, Maya shared her last cake with Mr. Patel. They sat by the fountain, savouring the sweetness of friendship, courage, and the magic of honey. Maya learned that day that true worth comes not from gold or greed, but from the kindness and honesty that blossom in the heart, like the sweetest honey beehive. News of the Honey Day incident spread like wildfire through the village. Everyone marvelled at Maya's bravery and the mysterious connections she seemed to have with the bees. Somebody whispered of ancient traditions, of beekeepers gifted with special understanding of the winged guardians. Maya, initially embarrassed by the attention, soon found herself sought after. Villagers flocked to her bakery, not just for her delectable treats, but also for her gentle wisdom and quiet strength. One day a frantic woman rushed into the bakery, tears streaming down her face. Her daughter, Lily, a bright and curious child, had fallen ill with a rare fever. The village healer was stumped, and hope seemed to dwindle with each passing day. Lily loved honey, and her mother, clinging to any possibility, pleaded with Maya. Touched by the mother's desperation, Maya felt a familiar hum resonate within her. Closing her eyes, she envisioned the vibrant dance of the bees, their delicate wings shimmering like golden threads. A memory surfaced, an old herbal remedy passed down from her grandmother, a concoction infused with honey and pollen known to possess powerful healing properties. Working late into the night, Maya prepared the potion, the fragrant brew simmering on the stove, filling the air with a bittersweet aroma. As she bottled the liquid, a single bee landed on the rim, its iridescent wings catching the moonlight. It seemed to nod at her, a silent confirmation of her choice. Early next morning, Maya delivered the potion to Lily's house. The child was weak, her skin pale, and her eyes burning with fever. Hesitantly, Lily slipped the honeycomb mixture, its sweetness battling the bitterness of the herbs. Maya knelt beside her, whispering stories of brave bees and magical flowers, her voice a soothing balm. Hours later, a change swept over the room. Lily's fever subsided, her breathing evened, and a faint rosy hue kissed her cheeks. She opened her eyes, bright and clear, a smile dancing on her lips. The village rejoiced, hailing Maya as their healer, the bee whisperer. News of Lily's miraculous recovery reached neighbouring villages. People with ailments they had deemed incurable started making the pilgrimage to Maya's bakery. With each passing day, her collection of remedies grew, each infused with the magic of honey and her intuition. She learned to identify medicinal herbs, their whisper carried on the wings of the bees. Years passed, and Maya's reputation spread far and wide. Her bakery became a haven not just for delicious treats, but also for solace and healing. Maya never forgot the lesson of the Honey Day fair, her heart overflowing with the sweetness of kindness and courage. As long as hope buzzed like bees in the air, she knew even the darkest shadows could be overcome with a touch of honey and a whole lot of heart. Story written by Google Bard AI. Image created by weepic.com AI.